Hey, I'm Sarah, and this is a bit of a remake of an old video I did. I did one a couple of years ago, and a few people have actually asked me if I would do an updated version because, of course, prices have changed. It's 2022 now, and yeah, food prices are going through the roof. It's getting a bit ridiculous. So I thought it was time I did a revisit of school lunchbox snack ideas. Now, I'm not so much focusing on the main sandwich or scroll or leftover bit of dinner or whatever you put into the lunchbox. I'm more focusing on the snacks. So the muesli bars, the crackers, the fun little things that you put in their lunchbox that you might buy pre-packaged. It might not seem that expensive, and there's actually a bit of a twist here where one of the things I demoed actually ended up cheaper to buy it. But I will go through these with you. So the first thing I'm looking at is muesli bars. So I got busy yesterday and got my bake on. I got some homemade muesli bars here. These are actually really easy to whip up, and of course you can cut them in whatever shape you want them in. You can buy muesli bars from the supermarket, $2.35. I should actually point out that I'm not cheating. I'm not going and finding the most expensive brand from the supermarket that I can find. I am looking for the most basic budget home brand type option. So the cheapest muesli bars that I could find at my local Pack and Save were $2.35 for a packet of 6. Each muesli bar was about 30 grams, and it was 180 grams altogether in a packet. These ones, of course, you cut them yourself, they're going to be varying weights. My muesli bars were about 55-ish grams each, depending on, yeah, I've cut one bigger than the other there. These cost $2.96 for the lot, and I've just weighed them. It comes to 850 grams. So that is quite a big difference. $2.35 for a packet from the supermarket. It doesn't sound like much on the day, but you think every week, if you're buying that, over time it adds up, and that is where you actually really do save money with your groceries, when you just little changes here and there, dollar here, dollar there. Crackers are another thing. For the cheapest crackers that I could find at the supermarket were the really cheap little snacks ones. They don't have any like grainy bits or anything like that in them. They're just the really cheap little round airy sort of snacks. Perfectly nice. $2.49 at my local for a packet of 250 grams. Now, making your own crackers, not only, you know, do you have the options of adding whatever seeds, whatever flavors, bit more salt, bit less salt, you know, I like to put a bit of paprika in mine, gives them a really yummy flavor. These are absolutely yummy. They are so nice. You can make them big size to put like some cheese and tomatoes on, or even chop them into like tiny little squares, maybe even make them like a chippy substitute. These came to 275 grams, and they cost 60 cents. If you're buying a packet of those a week, that's a good couple of dollars a week saving. So worth making your own crackers. Let's talk yogurt. Even though I'm using a tub I bought from the store, this is homemade. Now, my homemade Greek yogurt, different people have different techniques. I make mine in a slow cooker. If your kids like sweet yogurt, you can absolutely convert Greek yogurt into vanilla. That is easy to do with a bit of vanilla essence and a bit of icing sugar. It really does taste like the vanilla yogurt you buy at the store. The yogurt at the supermarket for a 1 kg tub, $6.19 was the cheapest that I could see. Sometimes they are on special for less than that, but the way I do it, and it depends how thick you want to make your yogurt. If you make it a bit runnier, it will cost less because you're straining less of the whey out of it. It will basically cost twice the amount of milk, because once you've made some, you use that as a starter, and all you need to buy to make it is the milk. Now, I save a bit more money on that by buying powdered milk. Just the Pam's brand blue powdered milk. That makes really great yogurt. The powdered milk will make 10 litres of milk for $8.50, which means it'll make 5 litres of yogurt, which comes to $1.70 per kilo of Greek yogurt. Now if you want to add some stuff to make that into vanilla yogurt, that'll be about an extra 13 cents added, I figured out, so that would make vanilla yogurt $1.83 a litre. And of course from there, add your berries, add your fruit in, just mix it all up, have a play with flavours. Vanilla yogurt from the supermarket was a bit cheaper than Greek yogurt. That was $5.49 a kilo. But still, that compared to $1.83. Popcorn, there are a few different options, some are better than others. You can buy it in bags, pre-popped, 150 gram bag for $2.35, some yummy buttery flavoured popcorn. However, the other option, you can get the kernels that you just put in the microwave. They come in a wee baggie. Pam's brand have some of them. They were on special when I had a look for 89 cents each. And there are 100 grams of kernels, which should make about 13 cups, if Google is correct. There's a difference right there. Let's take that one step further and actually just buy your own kernels. So I just get that stuff. There are 300 grams of kernels in this packet, and it's $1.89 for 300 grams. It is easy to pop your own popcorn. It's pretty simple on the stove. I've even got a video on that. Again, if Google is correct, if I was to pop the whole 300 grams of this all at once, I'd end up with about 39 cups of popcorn. I like to pop them with a decent knob of butter in there because that gives them yummy flavour. But I mean, put a bit of salt on there, put some icing sugar. You might need a wee blob of oil or something just to make the icing sugar and salt and stuff stick to them. But I generally don't do that. I just go with the butter option because it's yummy. The kids are always happy when they see popcorn in their lunchbox. The big bags of pre-popped popcorn, that's not even getting into the big bags that also have the little individual bags in them. They were even more expensive. One thing that I meant to make and I didn't make was jelly, but you know what jelly looks like. So you can get these little pots, I think Pam's do them as well, of either plain jelly or jelly with fruit in it. I mean, they're a nice option because it gets some fruit into the kids, but of course you can make them yourself. I've got a few of these sort of little pots that I've had these for ages, since I was packing baby food in them, to be honest. But these are a really, really nice little size. You can get them from the supermarket, you can get them from the warehouse. Pre-made, just 4 cups, similar size to this. It was 125 grams all up, $2.21, just jelly. Jelly with fruit in a cup was $2.59 for the same, four pots, sort of similar to this. Jelly with peaches in it. Now of course you can make that yourself. You know, you make up your jelly, you let it cool on the bench, pour it into these individual, well, put your fruit in first, pour the jelly mixture over, pop it in the fridge, and you've got your fruit and jelly. Jelly crystals cost about 85 cents and it will make about 2 cups of jelly. Of course, if you put fruit in them, you're not going to use as much jelly. You can probably make twice the amount. Just, you know, bear in mind the cost of the fruit that's going in them. Here's the thing that actually surprised me, and this is a recipe that I've just done recently, and that's making your own fruit roll-ups. I actually couldn't find these at Pack and Save. The closest thing I could find was something called fruit vines. They were like these stringy, fruity vine things, the fruit roll-ups. That's these things. They're basically made with dehydrated apple. I just make them in the oven. The reason I make these sometimes is if we've got a glut. At the moment we've got an apple tree that's going nuts and it's only got like tiny little apples on, and I use about 10 of those tiny little apples. But 10 of those tiny little apples, once you cut the core out and you take the skin off, you're actually not left with a lot. I'm just guessing I started off with about 1 kilo of apples. which will cost you $2.49. And it ended up, once I chopped the cores out, once I chopped the skin off, incidentally I did use the skin, I made some apple chips and the kids have taken off with them so I can't show you them. But once I'd done that and then I'd stewed the fruit down, it only ended up making 7 of these, and I've just weighed them. It's made about 100 grams worth. So $2.49. Now these fruit vine things, they were $2.59 for about 136 grams. So that's one thing where specifically if you're wanting chewy, fruity things, it could be cheaper just to buy it. Again, though, it depends. You do have more control over the ingredients. This is 100% apple. The other things, they may have sugar or who knows what added. So that's a personal preference. So I will concede these things, unless you're getting your fruit for free, it's probably cheaper just to buy them. A better option though, in my mind, would be to look at substituting it. You know, substitute. Instead of putting this in their lunchbox, make some muffins, make some bickies. That's next on my list, bickies. I'm just going to let them cool down. I've literally been making them as I've been chatting. In the meantime though, of course something I haven't mentioned is probably the glaring obvious thing, fruit and veggies. Yes. I have a rule with my kids. Sometimes I pack their lunch boxes, sometimes they pack them. They know the rule that they've got to have 2 pieces of fruit and 2 servings of veggie, whether that's carrot sticks, celery sticks, some chopped up cucumber, even a couple of lettuce leaves if they want. We've got radishes growing in the garden at the moment. One of my kids is mad about spring onions. We've still got a few of them on the go. So I've just made some of these. Now these are 3 ingredient biscuits. They don't come easier than this, and this is my go-to if I'm making lunch boxes and I suddenly realise I haven't really got anything other than maybe a sandwich and some fruit. I'll quickly whip up a batch of these because, as I say, literally 3 ingredients, butter, flour, sugar, 12 minutes in the oven and they're done. I can compare these to the likes of wine biscuits, I suppose, because they are very plain. Excuse me, I'm just going to weigh these while I'm talking. Wine biscuits, you can get a 250 gram packet of them for $2.69 with the cheapest ones. The ingredients cost $1.14 and that's 506 grams. So there we go. I'm going to have one of these with my cup of coffee in a minute. Of course, the other thing is any baking. If you've got some overripe bananas, make some muffins, make some banana loaf. It is really, really easy. Please scroll down below, leave me a comment, let me know what your favourite snack is or to put in your kids' lunch boxes. Hit the like button, it helps me with the algorithm. And yeah, we'll catch you next week. Have fun out there. Bye.